Welcome to Face Forward, the podcast, the series that takes you behind the scenes of the riveting world of clinical trial management. I am your host, Valerie Coveney, and I am thrilled to be your guide on this journey through the nuances of planning, executing, and navigating the clinical research landscape. On this special episode of Face Forward, the crew is live from the EADV in Amsterdam. As you can hear the activity bustling around us. We will be meeting with Pedro, Rosés, Diaz, Rada, Director in Project Management at Innovaderm. Pedro has an extensive 20-year experience in pharmaceutical and CRO environments and has a proven track record of strong leadership and mentoring cross-functional teams. His strengths lie in global clinical trial management, complex portfolio delivery, and ensuring project objectives are met. In this episode, we will explore the power of patient recruitment in clinical trials, focusing on 4 main points: the importance of patient recruitment, patient-centric approaches, strategies to boost recruitment, and finally, the latest innovation in the field. Let's extend a warm welcome to Pedro, Rosés, Diaz, Rada.
Thank you so much, Valerie. I'm very excited to be here at the EADV in Amsterdam, and thank you for inviting me to be the speaker today. I'm thrilled to have the opportunity to contribute to such an engaging and insightful podcast today, and I truly appreciate the chance to share my experience and knowledge about the power of patient recruitment in clinical trials.
Okay, so as we get started here, Pedro, could you give our listeners a brief overview of the importance of patient recruitment and engagement?
Yes, sure. So there is not just one thing that is important when talking about patient recruitment and engagement in clinical trials. There are a lot of things that you can put on the table to ensure that your study is going to be successful. But focusing on a couple of things, I think that this is, the most important is about timelines and also, the cost, because all is about cost as well. So the study success heavily depends on enrolling those patients that you need to be successful with the trial. And usually you need to run the trial within a very short period of time. If you don't have the patients and if you do not recruit them on time, then the trials are going to be delayed, and there will be this ripple effect with all the delays when you want to the treatment to be reach the market. It is estimated that approximately 80% of the clinical trials fail to meet their enrollment deadlines. And also, it is you can find in the literature that approximately 30% of the clinical trials fail due to enrolling inadequate patients. Let alone that each study, every delay is going to cost the sponsor a lot of money as well.
Mm-hmm.
So recruitment period is one of the main drivers when we are going to speak about study timelines. And that's why potential patient recruitment and engagement is the key for the success of your study. So when the recruitment is going to fall short, what basically means is that the trial will not have all the data that you need to have meaningful conclusions, and then potentially requiring the trial to be extended to collect more data. Or otherwise, the study could be prematurely terminated. Mm-hmm. That's why the role of the patient recruitment and engagement when running clinical trials is so important.
And what would you say are the main challenges in patient recruitment?
Well, there are, a lot of challenges that we are facing when talking about patient recruitment, but and this is not a kind of a secret that patient recruitment is one of the biggest hurdles that you can identify in clinical trials. Patient recruitment faces numerous challenges, from the lack of awareness about what means, clinical trial, as well as education in the clinical trial. But also there is a big component all about logistical and eligibility barriers. What really important is, worthy to highlight that sometimes the first and perhaps the most significant barrier for the patients to be recruited is the lack of awareness. So they do not know that there is going to, to be a new clinical trial, and let alone that they may even qualify to that particular clinical trial, but they have no idea about that. So the lack of awareness is one of the key recruitment challenges in clinical trials. But what are the good news? I mean, it's not all about challenges. It's
Mm-hmm.
not all about problems. It's more about the industries evolving, and then with the new strategies, with the new technologies emerging, they are going to help us solving all these blocks. I have seen that the patient-centric approach, the decentralized trials, and implementing a proper pre-study awareness campaign, thereafter a local and central study recruitment campaign, and then a greater patient engagement is what is going to help us to overcome many of these recruitment challenges.
Definitely. Okay, so the concept of patient centricity has been going around, but in your opinion, what impact can it have on recruitment and retention?
Thank you, Valerie, just for talking about the patient-centric approach, because even though this is flying around for several times, I don't think this approach is being implemented in the right directions. So in recent years, what has occurred is that patient-centric approach has gained more light in the way to not only improve the patient experience, but also to help boosting the recruitment and the retention of the patients in clinical trials. Um, it's key that when you want to integrate this approach, the focus is going to be put on what are the needs of our patients, what are their preferences by participating in the trial, what are their experience, because they are going to be in the main front of the clinical trial.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of treating the patients or viewing them as data points or participants that we want to manage because they are part of the study, we should introduce this patient-centric approach to treat them as a truly partner that we want to continue working with them in this journey.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important that we implement this approach in the way that we should focus attention in few elements that are important to integrate all the components in this cake. So number one, you need to put attention on engaging with the patients, but very early in the trial, not at the time the trial is running. So bear in mind that if you inform the patient about what is the study, if you empower them, if you support them, then they are more likely to join and to remain in the clinical trial till the end. So they are not
Mm-hmm.
going to discontinue prematurely from the study. Also, it's important to pay attention to reducing the barriers for the participants. So it means that we need to make the study more attractive for them to select the study and they
Yeah.
are willing to participate in your study.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then it's important, and this is key in all of our aspects of the life. It's improving communications. They need to understand what I'm going to expect from you by participating in this clinical trial, or what are going to be the benefits that you're going to take on by participating in this trial. So communication is going to help them understanding why we need them for the clinical trials. And then the last thing is, but not the least, is giving priority to the experience from the start till the end, not only at the beginning
Mm-hmm.
during the screening period, but also during the study conduct until the end. Um, at the end of the day, what we want to achieve by integrating and implementing this patient-centric approach is we want to improve the trust and our relationship with our participating patients, with our participating sites, which is critical for their engagement and the success of the trial. Two things that we need to consider. Without patients, without participating sites, we could not run a clinical trial. So we need both of them.
Now that the patient journey is clearly defined, how can we improve recruitment outcomes from here?
Yeah, that's a good question, Valerie, and I think super important because now that we do understand the patient journey, now we need to bring the patients to the trial. So how we can do so and how we can approach the patients is all by running a campaign, central campaign, recruitment campaign. So there are two steps in this process. One can start before the main
Mm-hmm.
study is going to be run, and then there will be a second step in this process that is going to be about the central recruitment campaign. So what we recommend in order to identify the patients is to first run a pre-awareness study campaign. And this is the key for the success, to start connecting with potential patients. And this campaign should be built in the basis of trying to educate and create awareness about a specific study medical condition for which the patients they can be qualified for the study. This campaign should be run even before the actual recruitment will start. The goal of the pre-awareness campaign is to ensure that by the time that the actual trial is going to be run, is going to start enrolling patients, you have already pre-identified a pool of potential participants that they are going to be eligible, potentially eligible for the study.
Mm-hmm.
So this type of pre-awareness campaign should start a couple of months before the study enrollment will begin. It's going to help prepare and identify the patient population that we need for the actual study, and then we are going to start engaging with the patients ahead of the recruitment campaign, the enrollment campaign will start. So we have this pool of patients already pre-identified.
Mm-hmm.
So once you have finished this pre-awareness campaign and then you move into the actual study, then you are going to commence with the central study recruitment campaign. This campaign is the extension of the pre-awareness, but now focused and targeted to the study. So this campaign is going to establish a centralized platform where all recruitment efforts are managed in one central place. It's going to make it easier the life of everybody involved in this process, mainly for potential patients and participating sites to connect each other. One of the biggest advantages when you run a central campaign in clinical trials is the ability to speed up the pre-screening, screening, enrollment processes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to direct all the participants to a central platform, and then they are going to complete here the so-called, pre-screening study qualification questionnaire. And then the system is going to quickly support determine if the patient may qualify for the study. And if they qualify, then they are going to refer the patient through the recruitment funnel and connecting them with the participating sites to further evaluate the eligibility of our patients. There is another advantage of the centralized campaign, and is the possibility to reach a broader audience by focusing on all these multi-channel marketing strategies. Bear in mind that we are living this technology area, social media area. So it means that by using the combination of the social media advertisement, the Google search campaigns, the targeted media marketing, then you're going to maximize the outcome of this central campaign, and you're going to be able to connect with a broader patient populations. So all the interested patients that we have connected through all these social media channels are going to be directly transferred to the centralized platform, and it's going to help ensure that none of them will slip through the cracks.
Yeah.
So, in short, if you combine a pre-study awareness campaign with a central study recruitment campaign, it's going to maximize the outcome. You're going to bring more patients very early in the study, and then it's going to ensure that the recruitment targets are met ahead of the planned date. On top of that, it's going to have a very positive impact in the recruitment timelines that is going to be translated in cost saving. If you remember at the beginning of this talking today, we said that also there's an impact on cost when the studies are delayed.
Excellent. So, on to our last point of the episode, Pedro, what insights can you share with our listeners on the future trends in patient recruitment?
Wow, I could say a lot of things about the future in patient recruitment, but it will take me a lot of time. So I think that, talking about, in few words, what are the advances in patient-centric strategies, all the technology and the digital engagement are shaping this new age in clinical trials, where we know that the recruitment must be faster, more efficient, and more inclusive than ever before. So, however, I think that what really matters and what really important, just to conclude today, is that I would like to highlight the importance of the digital recruitment platforms that are going to play a key role transforming the way the patients are identified, they are engaged, and they are enrolled in clinical trials. So, Valerie, I'm happy to be invited again and provide more details about
Yes.
the trends in patient recruitment.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Pedro. So this brings our episode to an end. It was a pleasure having you today for the occasion of the EADV. How exciting to be sharing this experience with you. Thank you for being here, and I'm looking forward to recording another episode with you.
Thank you so much, Valerie. And yeah, as you know, I'm going to be here in the EADV for the coming few days. So I will be attending some clinical scientific sessions. So if someone wants to reach out to me, happy to continue a conversation about how important is patient recruitment and engagement in clinical trials.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Pedro.
As we conclude another illuminating episode of Face Forward, we find ourselves at the crossroads of science and progress. Remember that behind the jargon and statistics lie stories of unwavering commitment, meticulous observation, and the pursuit of evidence that shapes our understanding of health and disease. Stay at the forefront of knowledge and innovation and follow Face Forward on your preferred platform. My name is Valerie Kovney. Thank you for joining us. Until next time.